Hello, this is Len Lindsay at myissvanguard.com. I'm going to be talking about, showing you, going through things you're going to find inside the add-on expansion for Deadly Frontier for ISS Vanguard. I'm going to first start with something that's way on page 8. Right on page 8, so you have an idea where we're going in this setting up and playing this game. Look at the very bottom of the page, the hint. You may use the empty Deadly Frontier box to store unused base game components right there. So it's telling you something important. This is an important word right there, empty. So what's going to happen is you're going to end up with everything removed from your Deadly Frontier box. It's going to be empty. And you're going to combine things from the Lost Fleet, from the base core game, and of course all the things from the game that we just opened. And things will be left over. I got some things left over here, and those are going to end up going into this box, and you're going to pile everything in that box. This one has miniatures that come with it. So here, starting with the yellow, working your way down, those are your new crew member miniatures, 2 for each section, and it also gives you 4 threat miniatures. You also have the miniatures from the core base game that you're going to be using as well. So as you're playing the game, you can choose which one you'd like to use for each mission as you go. Let's see what else. So here I'm going to show you so you have an idea. This is card tray A and B from the core game, the base game, and that's going to get basically emptied out because a lot of it's not going to be used. Some of it will get used and will get put back in. And then you're going to have your box, the section boxes right here. You'll be using those plus the dice. You're also going to be using the shipbook, and it's going to have new pages in it, so that's going to get emptied out. And you're going to be using the rule book to know how to play the game. You're going to be using the crew cards and lander cards as well. So let's take a look at some of the things that we've got. Okay, here we've got equipment cards. These are going to be put into the game. There's a whole stack of equipment cards. They're going to be like before. There'll be the equipment. Sometimes the equipment will only be usable by a certain section, sometimes by anybody. There's different styles of equipment. I'm going to put this down. Okay, and then other things, landers. There's 3 new lander cards. They're the Earth Space Ranger, Earth Void Ranger, and Earth Faustschlag. Those names should sound familiar to you from before. If we flip them over, now they're Rebellious Pelican, Rebellious Dragonfly, and Rebellious Sabertooth. So we're going to have rebellious ships on hand. Other big cards, so I showed you the big cards here, are going to be the threat cards. Some of the threat cards will have things at the bottom which you're used to from the previous games, which are the way that the threats will move about the board and attack or whatever. So we've got these. They're going to be available to you during the game. Let's see, missions. All the missions, of course, are going to be unique to this game. So you have a whole set of mission cards. You're not going to need mission cards from any place else. These are the ones you're going to be using. So we'll have a set of mission cards. And just equally important would be these point of interest cards. The old ones from the other 2 games, they're gone. These are the new points of interest cards. It's a really good stack of point of interest cards. And that's going to be going to be used in this game. Remember, all these cards that we're going to be using, the instructions are going to tell you they're going to go into card tray A and B. So by the time you're done shuffling cards around, it'll be set up for you to play the game. It goes through that. Let's take a look at the Planetopedia. Just like the previous games, when you open the Planetopedia, you're going to have maps, and each map is going to have points of interest. Some will be already pre-printed, some will be empty, and on the side, just like previous games you've played, are going to be explanations of what you're at, unique discoveries, missions, and mission card, and the global condition cards. And at the top, they remind you that the threat cards can go up across the top of there, and it also reminds you at the top here, your discovery decks go here. So let's take a look at the discovery cards next. So the discovery cards are what you're used to. There's the alien tech, the microorganisms, the mineral discovery, the specimen, alive specimens, and finally the strange floral. Okay, strange flora. So those you're going to be placing here. So those we're going to be using. Next, let's look at the unique discovery cards. There's no U in front of them, so it's just numbers on this case. The Lost Fleet had a U in front of each one. So these are the unique discovery cards. So they'll be available to you. And the event cards for the game, you have a whole set of event cards right there. So we got event cards coming in. The original game had a star map, and the book had a map of the places that you're going to. So now instead, let's see, we'll close this. Now instead of a star map, we're replacing it with cards. So the map used to have different places that you'd go and how you'd connect from one to the other. And now, instead of a book, we have a set of all these cards. And the first three cards in this group explain how to use it. So this is basically your explanation of what you're going to do with these cards. Let me put that there. And each card has got a warning not to peek at the back side because it's not available to you at this time. So if it's your game, of course, if you want to peek at them, you can. But otherwise, just like in the Star Map book, there's energy costs. So 1 energy is going to be what you're required for this one. No energy, so that's a free one. You can flip it, no energy. There's 1 energy. See if there's one that's more. There's 2 energy. So all of these have energy involved, even if it says no energy. Okay, so Planetopedia. Other things, of course, we're going to be dealing with is going to be the logbook. You're going to have a specific logbook for Deadly Frontier campaign. The other logbooks you've had before, they're out, not for this game. The other interesting thing I thought was that the shipbook, you're going to take all the pages out of the shipbook. They gave you a whole set of pages for the shipbook. So all these pages are going to be going into the shipbook. So you're going to have basically one binder that you've seen before, which is the shipbook binder, but it's going to have new pages inside. And then another thing they give you is reference cards. Let me put this down. The reference cards for Deadly Space Mode, and that's a way that you can make the game a little bit harder. Here's a reference card for Danger Dice. They give you 2 of them. There's something on both sides. And you notice on this one, the letters are not a letter. They're a letter and a number. So, for example, here, A1, A2, A3. It's going to be worse effects when you get to the third version, and there's going to be ways for you to mitigate this, and if you're supposed to be doing the 3, to move it down to 2 or 1 or even none, that you wouldn't have to roll them. So those are the reference cards that come with this game. A thing that's important in this game is going to be colonies. So we're going to have a whole set of colony cards, and colony cards are going to be an important aspect. You don't want to see too many because that'll spoil it for you. But during the game, you're going to be trying to do things with colonies, so those are available. And then the planetary scanner that you've got from the base game, where you put these cards in and you pay energy costs in order to get a preview of what, like hints and tips of what you might want to include for like crew members, equipment cards, even which lander to use. You'll have each one of the places you're going are going to have these. You can put in the scanner, and you pay an energy cost to scan. And once you've paid that cost inside the scanner, you flip the card over, and it will show you what you've revealed from your scan. We're going to have tokens that you're getting. So you're going to have a few more tokens here, or I should say standees. The tokens are here. And these tokens are different here. We're not going to have success tokens like in the previous games. We've got these, and they're called something else. What did they call them? They're called resource tokens. So those are coming with the game. Put that down. I could probably just show you at the beginning the things that you're going to be getting. So Deadly Frontier start here. Here's a list showing you the contents of the game right there. And then there's basically 2 pages of contents, and here. And on the back is only artwork. They didn't use the back for like an index or anything like that, so that's not available to you. Then once you open the manual, you're going to have pages explaining things that are new to you in this version of ISS Vanguard. It's basically 4 pages of things that are new in the game, and then there will be a page for setup. So things that are going to be talked about in the game are the DF on the cards. So when you're trying to sort all these cards to put them back together between Lost Fleet. Well, Lost Fleet has LF, and this one has DF for Deadly Frontier. And the base game, of course, has neither. And so you're going to have those marks. Talks to you about how the ship management's going to be done. Talks to you about crew members. Crew members are changed in a way they're changed. First, you're going to get new crew members, and here's your crew member cards are going to look really similar to what you're used to, except now, as it's going to tell you right here about the crew members, they could be of a variety of species now, and so you're going to have a symbol on the top of your crew card that tells you which species right here. And let me see if we can find some there. So here's those. Here's a different symbol on this one. And let's see, so which one didn't we see yet? This one. So there's 3 different species, and they will have a little symbol on it. Now, there are going to be things that one species will be better at than others. So the species are actually going to be used in the game. So each crew member, as you're choosing them, you'll also have to think about that. It talks about that, and then right here for the species, each of the 3 to have a different body type. So this is reminding you about that, and different abilities. Now, section cards included in the campaign can also talk about specific body types, and in the models, which I call miniatures, they will be two styles, and you've also got the style from the base game. So you have three different styles of crew members. Remember the crew miniatures that I showed you before. So there are different styles, and you can choose which one you'd like to use in the game. And once you choose one, the next time you go on a mission, you can use another one if you'd like. They're just for you to walk around the game board. And remember that your color is going to remind you what section you're in, because the colors stay the same, the purple, blue, the rose, and the yellow. Okay, more things to do here with those. It's talking about the Earthling models with that symbol, the humanoid models or miniatures with that symbol, and the xenoid models or miniatures that have that symbol. Then now we're going to have resources. We're not going to have success tokens, which it says right here, no success tokens. The dice it talks about, those are the dice you're going to be familiar with from the base game. And then it's going to talk about the colonies. So the colonies is going to be a main task right here, main task. So this is going to be something you're going to be focusing on during the game. You're also going to have companions, and it explains the companions for you like that. And 2 more pages. Then it explains for rank ups, and that they're a little bit different. Since there's no success tokens, you don't need success tokens to do a rank up. If that's explained there. The danger dice I kind of talked about already. Instead of the letters A, B, C, it's A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. So you will have levels of difficulty or threat levels or danger levels, 3 being the worst and 1 being the least. Situations. So the situation cards are used a little bit different because there's no situation. That's explained here. There's also something now called the diplomatic new biome. That's going to be there. The bridge upgrades are going to be slightly different. It shows how they are used there. Then we're going to have characters and generators. So here we've got to look at those. Something that I thought was rather interesting are the tracks. Now it's differentiating, not always, but sometimes, how many players are on the mission right now. So did you take 2 crew members down, or does your away team have all 4? So you're going to have a symbol that has 3 or more, and one that says 4. So if you're playing with all 4, you're going to see a symbol like this. That's going to apply to you. If you have 3 or 4, you're going to watch for that symbol. And here it's showing you as you're filling in these tracks as like before. Now you're going to have a track that expands based on how many players you have. So they've apparently tried to make the difficulty of these things adjust a bit to how many players are actually on the mission. And so here's the 2 right there. So research and production, okay, that's going to be a little bit different, and they explain that. And then the star map, I told you about the cards that are coming for the star map. This is explaining how you're going to be doing the star map. Section cards are what you're used to, but you're only going to have rank 1 to start with. Remember, there's rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3. The higher the rank, the better the section cards will be. There's one special operation that you'll be able to play, and it's right in the main logbook, and it tells you where to start for that. And then it goes through and shows you the standees that you've got in the game. And then the campaign setup. The Lost Fleet, I went through very detailed how to do the setup. This one, here's your setup. It's basically doing what we did in the Lost Fleet. We're pulling cards from one of the 3 boxes, and we're combining them together into the card trays. And then the shipbook is going to be all new pages, and this is explaining the shipbook pages. And here, shipbook pages. Remember the card trays like before are card tray A and B. So let's take a look at the final things that I haven't showed you yet. What haven't I showed you yet? Let's take a look. Okay, what are these? Okay, the bridge. Yeah, okay, bridge cards, the bridge updates, and generators. So here they got the letter B in front. Those are all the bridge cards that you'll be using with the shipbook. These are the rank up cards that you'll be using. Remember, there's no success tokens. So there's a variety of rank ups that you'll be able to use. Oh, I got a B card here. B1 there, goes there. And then these are lander mods. There's all kinds of lander mods for your landers that you'll be able to achieve with production and probably research. And then you got, what do I got here? Oh, the objective cards. So we're going to have some more objective cards that are going to be coming and going in the those card holders inside the shipbook. And this one is one of those cards you've seen before. If you played the game, you can turn it and flip it so that one card lets you specify 4 different levels, and that's available. Remember, the situations are being done a little bit differently. There's no situation room, but we've got situation cards here. You're going to have section cards. Here's a whole slew of section cards. And the section cards are what you're used to. Okay, so each section will have their own cards. They'll have their own special, unique things that they'll be able to do. The global condition cards are new for this game. So here's the cards that are going to be giving you the global conditions as you play. Okay, what else do I got? What's next? Updates. Okay, here. Facilities. Okay, yeah. These cards have F in the corner. So the F cards, these are the facilities, and we'll be able to upgrade the facilities. Med Bay we can upgrade. We can upgrade the research area. We can upgrade the production area. And we can upgrade the central hub. So these are all the upgrades that are going to be available during the game. Now the other two are going to be the production cards and the research cards, and they both have warnings on the bottom that basically say don't peek. You don't get to see what's on the backside until you've actually built it or researched it. Again, as I've mentioned before, this is your game. You paid the money. If you want to peek, go for it. But the game says don't peek. And then there's a few dividers to put in, though. Remember the card tray A and B? So here's some dividers that we're going to be needing now. Like, for example, the star map, because there's not a book now, it's cards. So that's available. They're giving you some more of these little what would you call these? Just sheets, log sheets that you can log when you're done with the planet, the name of the planet and all the different criteria and the status of the points of interest. So you've got some more of these. You might have leftovers from before, but there's the new ones. And I don't know if you wanted to see more of the crew members, but each crew member has got the front side, which just like before, you're used to having something that's like their specialty down here, their conversion, which is there. And here, let's see, we can flip it. And then on the back, it's got the story for that crew member. So each one, as you're going, you can look in the top for which conversions they're going to be able to do. You look at the top for which body type that they've got. That's there. Look at the names of them. Some of these names sound familiar to me. I don't know if it's worded exactly the same, but some of these abilities might be the kind that you already are used to. So that would be okay. And then the number in the corner as before, and the card there. And let's see if there's one DF, and they have the DF right here. That's to remind you if you're sorting cards out and you got the crew members mixed together, you can pull out the ones that belong in this game. Okay, that should be it. I am Len Lindsay at myissvanguard.com. Wishing you a good new year coming up, and enjoy Deadly Frontier.